all about wolves. Hunting behavior. About the wolves and moose of Isle Royale Project. Overview. Isle Royale is a remote wilderness island, isolated by the frigid waters of Lake Superior and home to populations of wolves and moose. As predator and prey, their lives and deaths are linked in a drama that is timeless and historic. Their lives are historic because we have been documenting their lives for more than 5 decades. This research project is the longest continuous study of any predator-prey system in the world. Observations about hunting behavior. For most North American and European humans, eating a meal is a pretty simple affair. Get some food from the cupboard, heat it up, and eat. What if every meal required exerting yourself to the point of exhaustion, holding nothing back? What if every meal meant risking serious injury or death? Under these circumstances, you might be happy to eat only once a week or so, like Isle Royale wolves. Isle Royale wolves capture and kill, with their teeth, moose that are 10 times their size. Think about it for a moment. It is difficult to comprehend. A successful alpha wolf will have done this more than 100 times in its life. Wolves minimize the risk of severe injury and death by attacking the most vulnerable moose. Somehow, wolves are incredible judges of what they can handle. Wolves encounter and chase down many moose. Chases typically continue for less than half a mile. During chase and confrontation, wolves test their prey. Wolves attack only about 1 out of every 10 moose that they chase down. They kill 8 or 9 of every 10 moose that they decide to attack. The decision to attack or not is a vicious tension between intense hunger and wanting not to be killed by your food. Wolves typically attack moose at the rump and nose. The strategy is to inflict injury by making large gashes in the muscle, and to slow the moose by staying attached, thereby allowing other wolves to do the same. Eventually, the moose is stopped and brought to the ground by the weight and strength of the wolves. The cause of death may be shock or loss of blood. Feeding often begins before the moose is dead. A moose with a wolf clamped to its rump is still formidable. They can easily swing around, lifting the wolf into the air and hurl the wolf into the tree. Most experienced wolves have broken and healed their ribs on several occasions. Moose deliver powerful kicks with their hooves. Wolves occasionally die from attacking moose. After a chase, wolves may kill and begin feeding within 10 or 15 minutes, or they may wound and wait several days for the moose to die. To some, wolves are evil for killing without cause and without eating much of what they kill. This is more a poor rationalization to justify killing wolves than an observation rooted in fact. Typically, wolves consume impressive portions of their prey, eating all but the rumen contents, larger bones, and some hair. They routinely eat what you and I would not dream of eating: the stomach muscles, tendons, marrow, bones, hair, and hide. They typically consume 80 to 100% of all that is edible. By wolf standards, every American deer hunter is wasteful. A wolf's gut is not so different from ours that we can't appreciate what it means to resort to eating such parts. These eating habits make sense. Starvation is a very common cause of death for wolves. Killing prey requires a tremendous amount of energy and is a life-threatening prospect for a wolf. 2 circumstances give false impressions. First, it may take several days for a pack to consume a carcass, or they may cache it and consume it later. The ultimate utilization of what may appear to be a poorly utilized carcass is routinely verified by merely revisiting the site of a moose carcass at a later date. Occasionally, prey are unusually abundant, prone to starvation, and easy to capture. Under such conditions, wolves may eat relatively small portions, only the most nutritious parts of a carcass. In this regard, wolves are no different from any other creature in the animal kingdom. Along migration routes during spring, when songbirds when songbirds may be extremely abundant, hawks sometimes kill many of these birds and eat only the organs, leaving behind all the muscle. Spiders suck a smaller portion of juice from their prey when prey are more common. These are examples of an inviolable law of nature. Utilization decreases as availability increases. The average American throws away about 15% of all the edible food that they purchase. 10% of our landfills are food that was once edible. Finally, waste is a matter of perspective. What wolves leave behind, scavengers invariably utilize. Foxes, eagles, and ravens are among the most important scavengers on Isle Royale. However, even smaller scavengers may benefit greatly. To a chickadee, for example, a moose carcass is the world's largest suet ball. Scavengers make waste an impossibility. After feeding for a few hours on a fresh kill, wolves sprawl out or curl up in the snow and sleep, to eat a large meal with one's family and then to rest, to stretch out and just rest. When we observe wolves during the winter, about 30% of the time they are just sleeping or resting near a recent kill. Wolves have plenty of reason to rest. When wolves are active, they are really active. On a daily basis, wolves burn about 70% more calories compared to typical animals of similar size. While chasing and attacking a moose, a wolf may burn calories at 10 to 20 times the rate they do while resting. Its heart beats at 5 times its resting rate. For context, a world-class athlete can burn calories at no more than about 5 times the calories they burn at rest. The intensity at which wolves work while hunting is far beyond the capabilities of a human. While spending all this energy, wolves may eat only once every 5 to 10 days. During the time between kills, a wolf may lose as much as 8 to 10% of its body weight. However, a wolf can regain all of this lost weight in just 2 days of ad libitum eating and resting. When food is plentiful, wolves spend a substantial amount of time simply resting because they can. When food is scarce, wolves spend much time resting because they need to. Wolves work tremendously hard, but they also take resting very seriously. In some important ways, wolves and humans are alike. We are both social, intelligent, and communicative. In other ways, we differ. With thoughtful reflection, however, we can understand or imagine some of these aspects of a wolf's life, their endless walking, and their feast or famine lifestyle. However, in a fundamental way, wolves perceive a world that is simply beyond our comprehension and imagination. Through their noses, wolves sense and know things that we could never know. We can build tools to help us visualize things we can't see directly, like X-ray telescopes and electron microscopes. However, it is difficult to imagine a tool that would allow us to sense or experience the olfactory world experienced by the everyday life of a wolf. Wolves have 280 million olfactory receptors in their nasal passages, more than the number of visual receptors in their retinas. Wolves can detect odors that are hundreds to millions of times fainter than what humans can detect. A wolf often walks with its head down, nose close to the ground. Wolves rely on their noses for 2 of the most basic activities: hunting and communicating with other wolves. Smells more than sights or sounds determine where a wolf will travel next. While hunting, moose are most often detected first by smell. Wolves commonly hunt into the wind, and by doing so can smell wolves from